Greetings and thanks for joining me for the latest edition of Mentor Mike's Market Movie. Today is Wednesday, 12/12/12. We won't be able to say that date again for 100 years, so enjoy it. And let's get started. I'm going to go kind of light on the mentoring dialogue here. I'm going to be saving that for the trading room. Got to slow down the data a little bit here because I don't want to miss my signal. I'm looking for crossover on this MACD and this parabolic over, this histogram over here. And there they are. Okay, so now we are going to get short. Again, I'm experimenting with my new money management protocols here. Okay, well, we got a little bit less than what we would have had if we kept our second target there. Did we reach that second target? I don't know. In any event, we'll pull that down and we'll look for another opportunity to get short. Let's slow down the data just a tad bit here. Let's see if we can get the stochastic above 50% while the histogram over on the left still stays below. We're going to make it above 50%? Kind of. Alright, now that's what I'm looking for. Notice that the MACD stayed bearish. We got a bearish hook on the stochastic after touching above 50%, but our histogram did not go lower, so let's go ahead and get short here. Well, that one did not hit the second target, would not have hit it, but we got a little bit more than just the bare minimum because our automated stop got a little bit closer. Okay, let's see where we go from here. Okay, now notice we got a bearish cross here. We have that makes both of the MACDs, and we've got our histogram below here. Here's the problem: when the faster MACD starts to overlap the longer MACD, it can mean that we're near the bottom here, and that things are going to start gradually working their way up. So this is a little bit dicey to take this trade on the short side. We could run out of room and end up taking a loss. So it's going to be safer if we wait until this thing bottoms out and turns to the upside, and we get our longer term MACD ready to start turning bullish. So I'm going to give this one a pass, and we're just going to turn the data back on. See, when the longer term MACD makes its bullish crossover, the short term MACD is going to be crossing the zero line. So the fact that we're already above the longer MACD kind of suggests that this thing is already kind of going in that direction. And as you can see, our price didn't go any lower than where we were. Now the price has gone above the red, but the MACD is just about ready to touch it. So there we go. Now notice we got bullish cross here. Faster MACD is above zero. Now we're a little on the overbought side here, but as we talked before, once we're in the overbought zone, things can climb pretty steadily. So we're also in a situation where we pretty well locked in our first turning point here. And the second one, if things hold true to form, is not going to be in place until we're on the upside of the trend definer. So there's a real good chance that this thing is going to go up enough to at least hit our first target. So let's get long. Let's put in the arrow. And away we go. Let's speed it up a little there. Okay, we flipped the parabolic. Now, one thing that was interesting here, let me pause this right here. One of the things I neglected to mention at the beginning of the hour here is this. On our list of reports today, there is a FOMC statement, Federal Open Market Committee. Now, there was a meeting of the Federal Reserve yesterday, and even though Bernanke's press conference comes a little bit later, this statement is the official position on interest rates, and this has historically been a kind of report that can spook the market. The other thing, though, I've discovered, though, is that if the market is already moving in a particular direction and in the process of forming a pattern, even if the report causes an extreme reaction, it'll usually initially be in the direction of the pattern that's already under formation. So we're coming up here on that 9:30 hour, so just to let you know, you might see something kind of weird when we get there. But here we go. Dipping down just a tad, but white is staying solidly above the red, and our long-term MACD is staying up there as the shorter-term MACD is, the white line at least, is staying above zero. And we are hanging in there. Now we're a little bit below the red, but let's see what happens. Remember, the odds are very strong that we're going to get above this trend definer to make the next turning point. And we're starting to climb a little bit. Boom, there it went. Okay. We hit um, our target and then promptly got stopped out. So this was all the crazy reaction to that report. Now we've got the stochastic heading up again, and so I think that that's going to be worth our while, because if we're going to make a high here and then turn back around, we need to have our longer term MACD get above 0 and then turn around and come back down. So this thing has further to go, I'm almost positive. And so we're going to make another arrow here for our next long trade. We'll get long here, and all right, well, we made a little bit more there. So it actually turns out that this low was lower than it was over here, but we're now in the middle of our day here and probably making our higher turning point. And again, notice that our faster MACD is inside of the longer MACD. So even though we're still rallying here, this MACD is suggesting that we're running out of steam here, and this thing is going to turn and start heading south pretty soon. We don't want to get too bearish until we've got the red kind of rotating around and the white below the red. And again, when we get our cross here legitimately, we're going to have our faster MACD breaking below the 0 line. That's what we're looking for. Notice that our histogram over on the left is already below 0. Oop. Jumped the gun just a tad, but this is not there yet. I'm going to go a little slower on the data feed. Okay, now it's peaking below, and our histogram has turned back around, never did go above the 0 line, so now we can get short. And as you can see, we have a red, white, and blue alignment here. I probably got in a little bit earlier than that, for real. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, stopped out. Now, let's see if we can get another bite of the apple here. Okay, the price is stabbed above the white there. Our stochastic is climbing. Now it's turning back around. And same with our histogram, same with the faster MACD. The longer MACD stayed bearish. So let's get short again. Topped out again. Okay. Now, when the price breaks up like that and then comes back down and takes out the previous low, there are many schools of thought that say that is an indication that this thing wants to go lower one more time. Bill Williams calls that I forget what he calls it, but anyway, these are a series of fractal signals that suggest the market wants to go lower. And we've only just taken that out, so I am going to try one more of these. Remember, we're going to have our next turning point. We're underneath the trend definer, but we got to get the moving averages down there too. So, pretty good chance that this thing will go lower. Okay, that was just the bare minimum there. Let's see. Oh, we're flirting with it again. And we've got a bit of a hook here. Let's go slowly with our... Can't crank the data feed up full blast or we'll miss that. Okay, bearish hook. Kind of a bearish hook over there, and we're ready to take out that low again. And everything on the MACDs both look pretty bearish. Remember, what happens is that when the thing bottoms out for real, the faster MACD is going to cross into the territory of the longer MACD before that turnaround. So the fact that that hasn't happened yet suggests that there's at least one more shot here, so let's go for it. And we're at 12:27 p.m., so we're still early enough to take one more trade. Generally, I don't start a new trade after 12:30, but I'm going to go for it here. There we go. Okay, so that would have been my last trade for the day because we're now past 12:30, and there's actually one more trade that dropped there. As you can see, we probably would have hit one more target and gotten above $1,000, but we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to crank this up and run out the clock. And so today, with a beginner's account, a $3,000 account, we used 3 contracts, 2 targets. We made almost $1,000, $962.50, and I didn't have to manually trail the stop once. The platform did it all for us right from the get-go. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 more, 8 trades, and $962.50. So when that trading room opens up, be there, folks. We're going to make some money, and it's going to be a lot of fun in the process. So come back and see us again real soon.